guys, it's Adria. So today we are going to find out, does your crush like you or not? And if by the end of this video, if you don't know if your crush likes you or not, then clearly I didn't do something right. I've been thinking long and hard about this. This video has been requested like crazy. So I've been thinking about ways to know if or not your crush likes you. Yeah, we're gonna go through them all today. So let's just get started, girl. And this video can be for guys or girls. It does not matter. You know, maybe you like a guy, maybe you like a girl. It doesn't matter. It should all kind of fall under the same kind of thing. Let's just dive right in, all right? So first of all, they have acknowledged you. They acknowledge you, and it's not just some crush from across the room, like you've never spoken to them. You know, obviously they know of you, they acknowledge you and everything. That's number one, but they probably like you if they acknowledge you. They smile, they make eye contact with you. That is acknowledging somebody, but they probably don't like you if they just talk to you. That does not mean that. I remember being a young teenager and thinking that any guy that talked to me probably liked me. That is not true at all. That's very true with guys and girls, because I remember being in high school, guys that talked to me, or if I talked to a guy, there were guys I talked to that I had absolutely no feelings for whatsoever, besides just being their friend. Like, just because somebody talks to you doesn't mean that they like you more than just a friend. That doesn't mean that. But, you know, you can really just kind of feel by how a person is acting with their, you know, with their face, how their face looks. You know, do they look like, or do they look like, every situation's different. Maybe there is somebody that's just very nice, but they don't like you. Like, who knows? Who knows, really? Be sure you know the difference between somebody acknowledging you and talking to you. Those are two very different things, because people talk. People talk to make conversation, to fill in time, fill in awkward silences. You know, people talk. Say you're new in a class and you're a girl and you sit next to a guy, like he might introduce himself and like, you know, like welcome you to the classroom. That doesn't mean he likes you. That might just mean he's trying to make it less awkward for himself and for you. But if he acknowledges you, like, you know, looks at you and asks you things about yourself, you can tell he's actually interested in what you have to say. That's acknowledgement. Two very different things, so keep that in mind. They probably most likely like you if they're persistent with you. They repeatedly give you compliments, they say hi to you, they ask you how you're doing, stuff like that. No, they probably don't like you if they're persistent in just a friendly way. Like if they're just like, oh hi, how are you? Because I was like that with a lot of guys, and I know I sound like a complete like player, you know, leading people on. Guys in high school that I was just friends with, I feel like they knew that we were just friends. They didn't want to be more than just friends with me, you know, and I feel like you kind of just know that. Like, it's kind of just a mutual understanding. There's no confusion. Obviously, you're going to be persistent with your friends, like at school, like saying hi to them and stuff like that, but if they aren't necessarily like in your circle of friends and they're persistent with you, like they seek you out in a crowd, you know, they come up and say hi to you. I'm trying to think. But maybe in all cases this won't happen this way, because there was a guy I actually ended up dating in high school, but he wasn't very persistent with me at all. Like, it kind of acted like I was not even there most of the time, which I feel like is another thing that people might do if they like you, because they want you to like be more invested in them, be like, oh, what are they thinking about? You know, what are they doing? It kind of is like a playing hard to get type thing, which I feel like is another thing where, yeah, they might like you if they're playing hard to get. Because if you have a friend that you don't have romantic feelings for, you're not gonna blow them off and like ignore them just so you know they're more interested in you. Like, you're not gonna do that to somebody you just want to be your friend. Either it's so confusing, and I feel like this is guys and girls that do this, you know, it's so confusing because they're either right next to you asking you stuff, interested in you, or they blow you off and make you wonder and want you to come after them. So it really goes one of two ways. They probably like you if they remember things about you, things not everybody else would remember about you. I mean, obviously if you wear a Nike shirt, or no, that doesn't necessarily mean, what do do they even have on t-shirts now? Like a band t-shirt a lot with like the same band on it. You know, obviously everybody's gonna know that you probably like that band. You know, that's kind of different. But if they know that something is of interest to you and they remember that, that could mean that they like you. You know, maybe you said something once, you know, just in passing about something that you liked, and not stuff that like you post on your Instagram, stuff like that, but like they actually know something that maybe not everybody else does. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm repeating myself. Let's just say hypothetically your crush and you and a bunch of other people, you, your crush, and a bunch of other people are all sitting at a table together in a cafeteria at lunch, okay? And let's just say you guys were all just having a conversation about just stuff, and then you just mentioned that you really like, come on, Adria, think of something. Think of something that people like nowadays. Let's just say you said you like, okay, let's just say you really like Dying Light, and you said that you like Dying Light. And they remembered that later on, and like they said something about like, oh, have you done this in Dying Light and blah 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 blah. Later on in life, it's like, okay, like they actually remembered that. Or maybe they just have a good memory because I'm like that. Like I really have a good memory with stuff. Like if somebody says something, I kind of just remember it. But they just remember little things, like little tiny things that are kind of insignificant. Like that just shows that they care about you. And 9 times out of 10, if somebody shows that they care about you, they could possibly like you, maybe more than just a friend. Okay, so as far as compliments go, if they give you a compliment one time, that doesn't mean they like you. I used to think this as a young kid, that if a guy gave me a compliment, he probably liked me, but that's not the case. If a guy compliments you more than once, that's like, okay, there's a flag waving around, you know, this is pretty obvious, probably likes me, you know? Like, let's say you do something new with your hair. If a guy is like, oh, I like your hair, you know, that doesn't mean, you know, he wants to go out with you or anything. No, and I feel like this is a mistake, especially girls, you know, if a guy compliments them once, they're like, oh, this guy likes me, I bet you didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that because he doesn't, girl. But if he compliments you on multiple occasions, that's kind of you know. But there are just people that are nice, that try to make people feel good about themselves. There are people that just give compliments just to boost somebody else up. You know, I do that personally. You know, I love giving people compliments because, you know, it makes them feel good and it makes you feel good too. And that's not the same if a girl says to a girl, oh my gosh, your hair is so cute today. Like, that's just how girls are. That's just how girls are. Okay, so the next thing is about poking fun at you. And this is a very fine line that you walk on, okay? If your crush pokes fun at you, like in front of their friends, it's really up for interpretation because they could be poking fun at you because, you know, they have self-esteem issues, like, I don't know. Or they could be poking fun at you because, you know, they don't want people to think that they like you, you know? It's really kind of a defense mechanism that people use. If you remember Hey Arnold, I was just watching it last night, girl. Helga was always poking fun at Arnold, but kind of in a more insulting way. But she did like him, like she actually loved him. So if somebody is even being mean to you, you know, it could just be them, you know, with a wall up, a defense, so that nobody sees the real feelings. You really have to protect yourself. You know, you can't, you know, tell yourself, oh, they're probably being mean to me because they like me deep down. No, like, you have to protect yourself, girl. You know, if somebody is making you feel bad about yourself, that's no reason to be like, oh, they probably just like me, so it's okay. No, like, girl, like, stand up for yourself. Be like, even if they do like me, I don't like them because they're being mean. I don't care if they're just insecure and using this as a defense. I don't want anything to do with anyone that's gonna be mean to me. Maybe they just, like, poke fun at you here or there. Like, maybe you have, like, a pimple on your face and they're just like, oh, I don't know, pimple jokes. If they just like poke fun at that, I mean, yeah, that can kind of hurt at the moment, but then like later on, it's like, okay, they were just making a joke. If they like go right for your throat and like say something like, I don't know, I don't even want to think of anything mean. I don't want to kill my vibe right now. I don't even want to kill my own vibe, girl. But if all they do is poke fun at you, they probably don't like you. Like if you're really just a joke to them, even if they did like you, girl, don't give them the time of day because that is not okay. You know, if somebody really likes you, they're not just gonna poke fun at you all the time, because even with Brandon now, like, I mean, obviously we like each other, obviously. We like still poke fun at each other like now and again, but it's not all we do, you know, we don't just sit here and insult each other all day, but you know, we can poke fun at each other and we know that it's just a joke. And I feel like you really have to be close with somebody in order to like make jokes like that about them, because you wouldn't say something, you wouldn't like make a fat joke to like a complete stranger, you know, because that's just like whoa, that's like, where did that come from? That wasn't necessary. I feel like you really have to be close with people to make jokes like that, you know what I mean? They probably like you if they try to impress you. Like, they are obviously trying to impress you. But there's a difference between trying to impress somebody and just like sharing information about yourself. If people like ask me about myself, it's like, oh, I make YouTube videos, you know, I paint, I don't know, just going on about stuff I like doing. But, you know, if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a pretty good painter and I'm like a complete YouTube celebrity. Like, you know what I mean? There's a difference between telling about yourself and like completely tooting your own horn, you know what I mean? There's like two different ways to tell things. So if somebody is like clearly trying to make themselves look great, they might like you. But if they're just like telling you stuff about themselves, like, oh, I like this band, oh, I do this, oh, I like this, or oh, I've been to like 50 concerts of this guy and I can play this on guitar, and I have like 15,000 Instagram followers, like, yeah, duh, girl. People try to make themselves sound great. I mean, don't we all like to feel great? We all like to be like, hey, I'm pretty great, I'm a pretty big deal. If you're just trying to be friends with somebody, you're not gonna try to make yourself seem like this really, really great thing, because it's like, who are we trying to impress here? You know, you're just trying to be nice, that's really it. But if you're really trying to impress somebody, obviously you're gonna like embellish little details about yourself, you know? Yeah. And on multiple occasions, again, like the persistency thing, you know, they try to impress you on different multiple occasions, not just like a one-time thing, because maybe they're just having a day where they just need to boost their ego. I don't know. All right, and to end this video, let's just throw out some misconceptions about a crush liking you, okay? If somebody texts you, you know, is like text buddies with you, that doesn't mean they like you. That does not mean they like you, because I remember being a young kid in middle school, like with my first phone, and like if a guy wanted to text with me, I was like, oh yeah, like he definitely likes me. No, girl. That's just like, no, that's not true. You know, sometimes people just want to be friends. With texting, it's just like people get bored. People are like having dinner with their parents and want anything better to do than to have a conversation with their dad. So they're just gonna text whoever they can. So just because somebody's texting you doesn't mean that they like you. Maybe if like they, you know, send little winky emojis, like you really have to use your instincts and like, you know, what your gut's telling you. But if they're just like making small talk, like, oh hey, what's up, what are you doing, you know, what are you watching on Netflix, that's just small talk. You know, you can really kind of tell if somebody's being flirty over text. That winky emoji comes out more times than one. Another misconception is being nice doesn't mean they like you. No. And this is so horrible, because I've regretted being nice to people, because then I feel like I've led them on in some kind of way, because then they think I like them, but it's like, no, I'm just really just trying to be nice. Nice doesn't equal crush, you know, it doesn't, no, they don't go together. Just because I'm being nice to you doesn't mean I like you. Capiche? They may just be a nice person, they may just want to be your friend, and in most cases, that's like what I was trying to do. I just try to be nice to people. I don't know, teenagers are weird. Teenagers are weird. I haven't been a teenager in like 2 years. I feel old. But yeah, that was my advice for crushes. I don't really even know if I began to scratch the surface, but let me know if this was of any help to you guys. I hope so. And you know what? You could just ask somebody, because one night I was feeling really ballsy and I just texted somebody that I liked, and I was like, hey, I kinda like you, and then they were like, oh, I don't like you, whatever, and I'm just like, oh. You know, it's a lesson learned. It's like, okay, whatever, at least now I know. Better to know now than to just be led on for a while and then find out later, and it's like, ouch, that hurts even worse. But any more suggestions for advice videos like this, please let me know what you guys want to see, want to hear, need advice on, etc. Leave it all in the comments. All my links are down below. Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Patreon, everything. So go check that out. I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys.